Hey, welcome back another day, another vlog. Hope you're all well. Busy day today for me at work. Fairly busy, boys got smashed. A few things I want to chat about. Firstly, I made a mistake the other day with my info. I got the wrong model number and I wanted to just retract that because it is a huge difference. We talked about a mouse the other day, a new Logitech mouse. I said it was the MX25. I think it's the 2S. That's the current model in Australia. I actually watched all the information on the show, I wrote it down, and then I've gone to Logitech Australia thinking that was the one, but it wasn't. Unfortunately, Logitech Australia isn't even selling the one that's already for sale in America. That is awesome. And that's the MX3. The old one was the MX2S, I think it was. I said it was a MX25. My apologies. That is for sale. That is currently the good one. But this MX3 is replacing that, and it is chalk and cheese. Definitely don't get the 2S. Totally different killer fish. The wheel, comparison between the wheels. The 2S, just you can hear it. It's like a normal mouse, just like a normal one, like that. With the new one, it's like a solid ball bearing, just fluid and no dramas. We lost my music. So yeah, and it's fully programmable. Every button is fully programmable, and to any function. You can go from a Mac to a PC and copy and paste through the mouse, up to three computers. So there's a massive difference in it. Obviously, also we talked about how it could go on glass. That's because it's the new one. It's 4,000 DPI on the sensor. Totally. MX3. I'll have to put the link to America, so you can check it out. Unfortunately, Australia, yet again, we're behind the 8 ball, which is a bit of a shame, but I just wanted to make sure you got the right info for that one. So my apologies for that, guys. But definitely, mouse-wise, comfort. And also with this one, it's on an angle. So for, obviously, pronate injuries, when you're constantly on a mouse all day, when you're level, that's a bad spot for your arm. So by having it more vertical, it actually creates less strain on your elbow and your shoulder, which actually causes injuries, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, it's a little bit of a vertical on it. So yeah, definitely have to check that one out. Netflix is looking at ending binge watching the TV shows. What that basically means is currently they'll release a series and maybe dump the whole lot on, so you can sit there and watch like 10 episodes at once. For example, on iTunes, when you do it, you pay for a series like Ballers. I get Ballers, and basically I watch the whole series in 2 days because it's that good, and I'm just waiting for the new one out. I think the last series, when it came out, I watched pretty much 3/4 of it on one flight, and then I had nothing. I had to wait another 12 months. That's the only problem with binge watching. But they're looking at getting rid of that, because what guys are doing, they're signing up, paying for the months, watching all the TV, watching the whole series, and then they don't pay, and they wait for another series to come out, then they pay, so they might only be a member for 4 months a year and pay $40. Instead of paying the $10 a month and then getting 120 for the year, they only get $40. So they want consistency, so they're going to start drip feeding the shows out. So it's going to be like one a week. When they do it, they'll never dump out the whole series. It'll just be one per week, and to sort of force people's hands to do it. The question was raised, what about old shows? I don't really watch the new one straight away. I'd rather wait till there's at least 10 shows in there before you watch them, because otherwise you watch one, you've got to sit there and wait for a whole week. And they sort of believe that a lot of their potential audience want to know, and they want to be in the crowd, so they all want to know, a la your Game of Thrones, so they're all locked in first week waiting, and then everyone talks about it for a week, then locked in and such through social media. So they think they'll do it. Apparently Apple and Disney, which are opening their own channels. Apple will announce theirs on the 11th in Australia, 10th in America, when at the new event. I think when we get the Apple TV announcement. So they'll do the same thing because they've already seen what Netflix has had dramas with. So I mean, they've already talked about that as well. So that'll be a drip feed system. So yeah, I don't think it'll affect too many people. It'll be the people that have to get the latest show or watch the latest show. So they might pick up a few. I don't think it's going to be. Maybe in America it's a lot different. Maybe that's a big proportion. Maybe that's 20-30% of their market. I guess that's what they're looking at. But yeah, I don't think it's going to affect me. I got no problems waiting until it's all out and then watching it. Although like Suits come out, we used to sit there and wait, and you'd have to wait for a week. It all comes through iTunes that way, so it doesn't really bother me. It's about the same way. For $10 a month, I mean, you can't even get lunch for $10 a month in Australia. You can't even get lunch for $10 anywhere in Australia. And I'd be lucky if you got a feed from McDonald's for $10. So for a whole month's worth of telly, it's a bit weird. People I guess it's smart if they're in and out. They'll save money for each month, but what are you going to watch when you're not watching that? So yeah, interesting. I'd say it'll be out soon, so be aware of that. It's probably coming. Want to congratulate the Aussie under-18s at the World Cup. They were playing off for bronze today against the host nation Korea. They fell behind early and they come back, but they end up going down by 1 run. They had an awesome tournament. A couple of good mates that have played in the provincials with the Australian provincials. Their kids were playing in it, so it was good. I got to sort of watch that. It's great to sort of see the next generation coming through. And did an amazing job up against some really big teams. The Yanks, the Japanese, Koreans, all awesome sides, and they held their own. Most games are like 1-run games, so that's pretty awesome in a game of baseball to get like that. They didn't have any blowouts where they sort of folded. If they were down, they did come back, so it was great to see. A big congratulations to all those young guys. I'm sure they'll take a lot of memories from that and a lot of learning, and I'd say there'll be a fair few of them will probably end up getting signed out of it too. I have no doubt at all. Dave Chappelle. I watched his new show. Obviously, there's been a huge blow up of Dave Chappelle. The PC police in America have been out in force. All the goody two shoes that believe that you can't say anything about anyone anymore, or you can't make fun of anyone or any race, creed, colour, whatever, religion. Everyone's untouchable basically. Comedians if they have their way, all comedians will be out of a job, and we'll all just become robots. I watched it, and he hasn't lost it. He's awesome. He is a funny dude. To be able to stand in front of a huge crowd of people and be able to get them to belly laugh constantly about some serious issues is a huge... what's going on here? I've lost my music. Is a huge ability, and he does it. He's the best in the business. I don't think there'd be too many comedians that wouldn't agree with me. He's a funny guy, man. He has some amazing mannerisms. He gets involved. He uses mental. He uses physical. He gets his body in there. He knows how to work the crowd. He knows how to work the emotions of the crowd. He's a funny dude, and he's very smart. Well thought out and well planned and executed. These guys don't come into it and just rock up and just do a show live and just go ad lib. They work. I think I watched a show, the Comedians in the Car, with Jerry Seinfeld and Eddie Murphy, and they talked about how they would. Eddie Murphy, I think, talked about how he'd do like 12 months on the stand-up scene before he'd do one of these shows. And Jerry Seinfeld was pretty much the same. They all pretty much do 12 months of trial and error of all their comedy, of their jokes, before they get on the stage and do a special. So really well done, well rehearsed. He's done a great job. To the PC police, go find something else to whinge about, for Christ's sake. The world's bloody enough bubble wrap as it is. It's bloody ridiculous. Stuff them. Like, if you can't take a joke, then you get serious issues, then no one's going to be able to help you anyway. It was awesome. I actually sat here for about an hour and a half and pissed myself. It was just gold, comedy gold. Dave, bloody legend, good on you. Speaking of comedy and Australian, we haven't had Australian comedy for many years. It used to be very strong. I guess we got our humour, like the English, the roots that come from like our Monty Python days and stuff like that. When I grew up, and we had things like the D Generation, where some amazing comics come out of, the Comedy Company and all those. We just don't get that anymore. Again, I think that's a lot to do with the PC police being in Australia. We're very much a cotton wool bubble wrap country, and no one's allowed to say anything about anyone anymore. So comedians have a really tough gig, get no traction and struggle a lot. We don't have those TV shows anymore. I don't know why. They don't seem to be as popular. There's nothing better than a really good, well thought out comedy sketch show. I think the last one I seen was on ABC. Thank God for the ABC. Black comedy, I think it was, and it was a lot of Aboriginal guys doing comedy, and they did a fantastic job, but I don't think they've done a new series for the last 12 months at least. I think it was about a year ago they brought that out, the last one they had, but there hasn't been much out. One of my favourite series, and I suggest you get on it, you can get on the ABC app on Apple TV and other places, is Utopia. It's got Michael Stitch, I think it is, ex-D Generation boy, guru, funny as hell, and it's basically about I don't know if probably a few of the older guys remember the National Building Authority, all the project building we had at the turn of the century, how we're all going to change and we're going to create a great nation of Australia, and then nothing's ever happened. All the money we've made from the mining booms has been pissed against the wall, and Australia's dead broke, and we've given away all our resources. Well, this show is basically about Australian government and the bureaucracy and the just total utter bullshit that it is, and how nothing ever gets done. No one's got a clue what's going on. It's all about just putting someone on telly so they look good so they can get re-elected, and it is eerily a total reflection of our political system and our government that runs the joint. I suggest you watch it. I would put it to, if you like The Office, the American or the English version, it's basically the Australian version of The Office for me. The Office takes a piss out of a work scenario where nothing gets done, and you've got a idiot boss that's got no clue whatsoever, and the people under him are just doing nothing, and it's just a no-win system. And it's basically a similar sort of comedy than The Office, and it's just really well done. I think this is their 4th season, so you can do a bit of binging. You've got 3 seasons to catch up on, and it's really, really good. They've done a great job. They've got some great Aussie comedians in there. They do a fantastic job. So ABC, again, thank God for the ABC. If the Australian government ever gets rid of that, they should all be shot. The ABC is probably the only thing left we've got that actually gives Australians a chance to express without the PC police and persecution and crap stopping them. It's an awesome platform, and go to the ABC. Again, thanks for picking up the Utopia. I didn't think it was going to get picked up after the 3rd season. It sort of died off. I think it was originally SBS, but I think it might have been ABC the last season. I think it had changed over, but ABC's picked it up, and it's fantastic. Get over, watch it. You'll love it. Pick of the week, definitely Utopia season 4. Check out the first 3 seasons and catch up, and you'll see what I mean. If you do watch it, just think of Telstra, and I'll leave it at that because I can't say anything else out. But it reminds me a lot of things. But Anyway, that's it for me. I hope you all had a fantastic Sunday. Get some sleep. Back to work tomorrow, unfortunately. It's all right. 5 more days and it'll be the weekend. Oh, yeah. All right, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you might be working and coming home. You might have been out in the piss. Get home. Don't drive and drink. Get an Uber, Ola, taxi, whatever. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Monday.